ProviewSports.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like
Well, just put me in. Welcome to the Steve Davis Show. We have Gary Tripp running for. What are you running for, Gary? No.
Hey, Steve. Thanks for having me, man. I'm running for the New Mexico House of Representatives, District 44, which is a little bit of Bernalillo, right by 550 and 528, and a lot of Rio Rancho and a little bit of Corrales, all the way to Angel Road from the Bernalillo over the 550 highway, if that makes sense to a lot of people out there, which I think it does. So New Mexico House of Representatives, District 44.
Well, you know, we've had 2 shows. We do a monthly show every month, kind of seeing your trail to the election in November. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yep, November is correct.
And you know, we've touched on your highlights of what you've done. And I think I'm speaking from my personal experience doing business with you and being a friend and doing the whole thing is you have great visions, but your vision and follow through have come through. And in the last 2 shows we talked about a lot of things you've accomplished, but the New Mexico Foundation was one, ProView Network, seeing the vision with the internet and things like that, and to see where that has come from the day it started.
Right.
And so that's just now, since that time you retired, is that correct?
Yes, I'm retired as of December 31st, and in order to do this full time, give it the full run, be 100% committed, I really think that if I'm honored to serve the people, that I can do this for about 8 years and really give back. So yeah, retired on December 31st, and people say, how's retirement? I said, I don't know. I have a full-time job. I'm just not getting paid. I'm running for office.
With that being said, you've hit the campaign trail, and so kind of update us to what you've done here in the since you've retired.
I am trying to meet with the Democrat leadership in Sandoval County, the Democrat leadership in the state of New Mexico, the Republican leadership in Sandoval County. I'm also spending a few hours every day. I take a neighborhood and I try to knock on all the doors, and with my what's called a palm card, get out there and ask them, even if they don't want to talk to me, if they'll just keep my palm card and get on my website and just start following to see if I would be somebody that they would vote for in November. So between meetings with leadership, because there's so many issues out there, you know, public safety wise, education wise, infrastructure wise, there's just so many issues out there that there's a lot of people to meet with and really represent the whole population. You've got to try to meet with both parties as much as possible and formulate an opinion that you're servicing the majority of your people. And I got to tell you, Steve, that one of the things that has been new in politics is I taught this in 1987, 1988, 1985. You know, there's kids hopefully watching that are adults now from Moriarty that are close to 50 years old or about 45 years old.
You're dating yourself there now. You're dating yourself.
But I taught this how this all works and how this all functions, and what's hard is when you go door to door, is there's a lot of people that are wanting to remove themselves or be disengaged with the political system, and they're tired or they're fed up or they're angry at one party or the other party. They don't like what happened in this party. They don't like what happens with this president. I mean, all kinds of stories out there. And I'm trying to ask them to believe in me, see if a good guy that's a Democrat that can go to a Democrat-controlled House of Representatives, try to make a positive difference for District 44. You know, so it's a challenge, but you meet so many good people that still believe in the system. So it's got its good and it's got its pros and it's got its cons.
You know, I know that you are. We all. I'll put myself right in that category. You know, you think you have all the answers. I mean, but since you've been out talking to people, have you got a greater respect for some of the organizations and things of what they do that really people don't get credit for, and you're like, and right in front of your eyes, you're like going, wow, I didn't realize these people were getting this done, or they were accomplishing these things.
So many things that we could spend the whole show talking about, and that's a great question. You know, public safety, I don't know if we realize how great of a job our police officers do. You know,
for the negative press that they
what happens 1% of the time and gets highlighted. There are so many great public safety officers. The other one is the first responders. You know, if you think about it, firefighters is really kind of an old term. You know, we're always saying that we're the state of mañana, New Mexico. Well, New Mexico is one of the great leaders in prevention of fires in the West. You know, we've adopted all these laws. We're pretty safe when buildings get built. You got a construction background. It's probably all the rules and regulations you had to follow. But the fact is, we do a great job. But then now we take that and man, the job they have to do to first respond, you know, the physical abuse that happens in homes or the accidents that happen. And you almost need somebody with the intellect of a doctor responding to that situation. And so I don't know the answers, and I don't know if there's already things in place. I don't know what the training is, but I do know that there's areas in public safety and there's areas with the first responders that, you know, and I'll tell you what, that's always on the mind of voters. You know what I mean? They want a good police force. They want a good first responders. So that's been a nice awakening. And then the homeless veterans, you know, we kind of all get wrapped into going to work and going home and going to our games or whatever because we love sports, but we kind of forget sometimes that the big issues that are out there that are really on people's mind because they're good people. They want to be in a safe community.
Gary, we're going to go to the Dream Style Top 10 Plays of the Week and then come back and and talk more about your political career.
All right, thank you.
Ramos wants another.
Opportunity here. Martinez shoots, he scores. Cut into it. Had some nice looks at the rim. Win. Inside. They're not going to miss this one. Two-hand hammer from Murillo. Ball's played up. Rodriguez with it. Gonna settle. Looks to the inside. Comes to the far side push. Shot on in. Goal deflected in. No.
Dorian's gonna go all the way. It was blocked by the rim. Get it out, says Kobe Wade. Ramos got it. Look out. Ramos, can he chase it down? It was a freebie. Saved it. And then stolen. And somehow Hasbury's got it back. Handoff. Watson.
Get it stripped. Dalion stripped him. Compiling the other way. Win up top to the big goal. Here he comes.
For the lead. Got it. What a great game plan. Look at this.
Agbayosi throws it down.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut!
We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Hey, welcome back to the Steve Davis Show. We have Gary Tripp, and got your little resume there, and got the whole thing, man. Josh Brown stepping up, and
you know, John, thank you for that. You know, my daughter Gail, Stevie, who you know very well, she's really working behind the scenes, working like a campaign manager, just trying to handle everything for me, running from meeting to meeting, starting this morning, seeing the content of the website. So if people do go to my website, they'll start seeing it more updated as we go.
That brings up another, we were talking about things about how you have much more respect for things. Well, you probably have much more respect for politicians because of all the meetings they have to go to and all the issues that are out there. So I was like, do you ever think, man, I mean, as educated as you and smart as you are, like, man, do you ever like, wow, I'm not.
I would have never realized in 100 years how busy a politician, and let's just put them, let's say 98 or 99% of them are solid, good people, just want to do good for their communities or their state or their nation. I just can't believe how many meetings they go to and how many issues. They got to surround themselves, or at least that what I'm finding is trying to surround myself with people that you can trust and people that are well educated on different issues. I have a fracking issue come up by a door-to-door knock, and we don't need any fracking. Our water, 50% of the drinking water comes from right here in the Rio Grande Basin, and I'm looking at this well-educated citizen, and I get off talking to and listening to him because that's my job right now. I just want to listen. I get in the car, I call one of my best friends, an engineer, and I said, okay, I need everything on fracking by tonight. Can we meet? And sure enough, and that's what I think a good politician needs to do, is really surround themselves with quality people that can assist them in the different areas that they really trust, and will be honest with you and give you, this is the pros, this is the cons. I've spent my whole career in this area, and now you've got to decide on the decision of, is it more important with economic growth? Whatever the issue is, you've got to make a good decision on that. So I have a real new appreciation for the politicians that serve their communities or serve their state or serve their nation. Yeah.
I've been, kind of, helped some other people or got involved and, try to be behind the scenes and stuff. And it just amazes me the commitment they have. And they start at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and they're going till 8 to 10 o'clock, and they got to be all over the city and all over the. And they got to be at, and they got to make appearances, and then they got to keep moving. So and the ones that do that are the ones that usually win.
Yeah, they stay after it. They do two things. They stay real involved, and they raise a lot of money. That would be an interesting thing for a normal citizen to look at the Secretary of State's website, and it's all transparent. New Mexico is one of the leaders in the nation under our Secretary of State, Maggie Tollison Oliver, in being very transparent with how much money each politician is raising in the state of New Mexico. It's the law. You got to put it out there, and I got to tell you that they're telling me for my campaign I need to raise anywhere from $50,000 to $125,000. I honestly don't know if I can do that. I've been an athletic director, and I remember thinking, how am I ever going to raise $25,000 in Moriarty schools to keep the transportation, the meals, and all those things going for the kids throughout the year. Now I'm thinking one district seat has to raise that much money, and it's a lot more for U.S. Congress positions, it's a lot more for national positions, and it's a little less than that for local positions. But that's a lot of money to raise. And
the time frame too. I mean, I guess it's something like, you decided like 3 months ago that you were gonna, if I remember, like almost in October or something like that, you decided that you were make this commitment, and then as we were talking, it's kind of like, everybody knows I'm a basketball fan, so are you. Well, guess what? The state championship is it's here. Okay.
Yes, it is here.
March Madness is already here. We're seeing it already happening all over all the districts and everything.
I'm not changing my schedule. I'm going to the Mountain West. How about you?
Well, who knows? I just might be there. But
every time I've gone, I've seen you, Steve. So that's good. No, but you know what? Whether it's our Aggies or our Lobos, these are our kids.
Well, then let's throw in Western New Mexico. Let's throw in Highlands and Eastern New Mexico, and
we don't have to throw in Eastern and Western that much. We'll throw in Highlands University a lot. No, I'm just kidding to my friends from Western and Eastern, but I'm a small college guy, so I'm on the H Club over at Highlands University, and I'll tell you what, Coach Dominguez. Of course, Coach Snow left a great situation. But you know what? That's what good coaches do. They lead quality. And Coach Dominguez, who I think is just going to be fantastic, I sure hope he doesn't win too much and we lose him because we need to pay our coaches more
I tell
at Highlands University.
I speak with him every week and what he's done for Highlands. And I think you're going to, and he's doing it with New Mexico players. I mean, that's what's so impressive because people have a really negative thing about New Mexico players. So we can't win with New Mexico players. Well, guess what? The Lobos have 2 players that are from New Mexico, and I'm just saying they're here.
And I'll tell you what, and I know everybody would be so proud, but there's a Carpenter kid out of Cibola who, when I spoke to Coach Snow about him last year, he said he has to be on the court because we're at our best when Carpenter's leading our defense and leading our offense. That doesn't mean he has to be the biggest scorer in the world, but that's something about one of our kids. And then we got a kid, Archuleta, from Pecos, Little Pecos, New Mexico, and just referring to what you just said, who happens to be one of my best friend's son. Grew up in Las Vegas, New Mexico. DJ's out for the year, DJ Bustos, but the list goes on. You're exactly right. We're winning. Coach Dominguez is doing such a great job and there's a balance. There's some great kids from out of state, but there's such a great balance there with New Mexico kids and out of state kids, and Coach Dominguez just does everything the right way, and it's nice to see that winning record again. It's a good thing.
Well, Gary, we're going to come back and talk more about we all talk about basketball all day, but we're going to come back and talk about the real thing about your
campaign. I
campaign.
Appreciate that.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this? Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog! Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Is this my car? State Farm knows that for every one of those moments,
This is ridiculous!
there's one of these.
Is this my car? What? This is ridiculous.
This can't be happening.
This can't be happening.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Shut up.
Shut up.
That's why State Farm is there, with car insurance for when things go wrong, but also here with car loans to help life go right. State Farm.
Talk to State Farm agent Marty Size or Michelle Rudolph in Albuquerque today.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Running for New Mexico House District 44, and what a pleasant morning so far. It's been great. It's always great to see you. And you know, what do you have? You know, back to the raising money. How do people get a hold of you, or is there a campaign manager, or what to help on it?
Yeah, there's a one thing that will happen. All my friends and that are out there. Right after the legislative session, we can really solicit funds again. And so February 26th, every politician will be calling all their friends that are on their phone just begging for what they can get. And then we're going to have some fundraisers. You know, we're going to have some legal fundraisers where we're talking about legal issues, hoping attorneys show up with a checkbook, you know, because we'll be begging for money. I'm going to try to have an educational forum, because that's my main issue. You know, what can I see helping, assisting, moving education along? I want to get really on board with the governor with the early education and the pre-K funding, and we can't put enough into that in order for us to be successful in the future. But there'll be an educational fundraiser. You know, we kind of mentioned, I mentioned to you, Steve, as a friend, you know, we're going to have a golf tournament, Friends of Gary
I'm
Tripp.
excited. You already got me excited about this. So I didn't want to know if you
that one's going to be competitive. We're going to start off with competitive.
Was it March 19th?
March 19th. I'm going to try to call
Twin Warriors. Is that correct?
Yep. 72 friends. Try to have 36 teams and make it as competitive as possible. I'll tell you what, because most of the guys I know are ex-athletes, either high school or college, and nobody in the group that I have to play in this tournament is, well, let's just say they're going to be very competitive. So, but I'm using that as a way of really asking 72 of my closest friends to see if they can assist me through their businesses or the businesses they work for, or the unions they might know, or the associations they are associated with. We're going to try to use that and build upon that with a couple of more golf tournaments to try to bring people together. I want to use golf because we love that game so much. I want to use that with my friends as a way to get the word out what I'm all about, and also to garnish some campaign funds in order to make this run all the way last until November. So.
Well, I want to say this, in back to raising money. There's no denomination that's is well respected. It could be $25, $10, $100, whatever. You know, if you do it, and it'll be well received and very appreciated. Is that a good statement?
You know, my brother, who is a veteran of the Gulf War, spent 30 years in the National Guard. He's 720th. Las Vegas, New Mexico, northern New Mexico troops that have served as a National Guard veteran up there. But he gave me a big chunk of money. I was surprised. You know, my brother's a hard worker, worked for a state auditor right outside the Santa Fe Penitentiary for most of his career, did his National Guard duty, did the Gulf War, so forth. Gave me a big chunk of money, and he said two things. It brought tears to my eyes. He says, I hope money in education just goes as much as possible to the classroom teacher. Take care of my homeless veterans, if you can, any way you can. That was his 2 requests. His daughter, who works every day, a couple of them, he has 2 daughters, they send me $50 checks. And it's like, it brings tears to my eyes because they're hard workers living from paycheck to paycheck, but they believe in their uncle. And there's a lot of friends that do the same with $25. And it's just, it makes you feel good. You know, I can take this $25 and I can run till next November because I have people that believe in me, know that I'm an honest person, and know that I can go. So I'm glad you brought that up because it doesn't matter if it's $10 or $25. Hopefully the ones that can afford the $5,000, you know, they're going to be respected so much and appreciated so much. And I'm going to try to do it, maximize the use of those funds to the best of my ability.
But you made a great point. You know, you're 25 and $5. There's no attachments. They're out for Gary Tripp. You know, they don't have maybe the funds to support you like they want to, but just the thought. I just know I know your personality. Know it. I mean, it just really it catches you off guard when somebody does that for you.
It does. It does. It's just so great. My daughter Gail, like I said, is back, and my son-in-law Andrew. So it's Andrew and Gail Aho, and they were in Vancouver, and all of a sudden on the website pops up this donation monthly from those 2, and it just means a lot, you know. It just
Well, Gary, you know, we're coming to a close, and we'll come back next month. We're going to talk about that golf tournament. So.
We're going to talk hard about that golf. I appreciate everything ProView has done for the state of New Mexico. You know, a well-rounded education.
All right,
and
thank
you're
you.
part of
Appreciate
it, buddy. Thank you.